Okay, so today we have Bianca Shaw with us on MKE Tech Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited to get into today's topic, policy. Tell us a little bit about your background in policy.
Awesome. Well, I have about 7 years experience working in government, and about 8 years working in nonprofit. But the bulk of my education has come from the Wisconsin Women's Network Policy Institute, where they teach women and girls how to take an idea and move it into legislation. So I went through a 4-month intensive program on how to create policy in the state of Wisconsin. And that was in
That's
2017, I want to say.
that's incredible. And a lot of people don't know that you and I actually met through Emerge, which is a nonprofit that educates I guess what they call progressive women to run for office. So
Yes.
I have had the pleasure of sort of witnessing your career and journey in the policy space over the last 7 or so years, which is crazy. Time moves really fast. So you've been
Yes.
supporting and consulting Milky Way Tech Hub in the policy realm for some time. Can you share with
Mhm.
folks why policy advocacy is important?
Yes, it's very important, I think, because people are the individuals that push policy, that push budgets and everything. And so for me, it's important for folks to understand that uh, politics is what turns people off, and that's the behavior of the elected officials and appointed officials. But policy is what governs your everyday life. And once you elect a person, it is up to you as an expert of your own life to educate them on those issues you care about, because those issues, in essence, turn into policies. And then we have budgets that implement those policies. So we have to be involved not only in the voting process, but in the process of creating policies and educating our elected officials and appointed officials on what matters to us most.
Yes. And so over the last 3 years that we've hosted Wisconsin Tech Month, you have supported us in the policy realm and educating our community on how to advocate for policy during Wisconsin Tech Month. So now we're on our fourth year. Can you share with everyone how you intend on continuing this work?
Yes, definitely. And the one thing I want to say is that policy can sometimes move very fast. We've seen that happen, and sometimes can move very slow. So in the state of Wisconsin, our broadband expansion and the way we move it throughout Wisconsin equitably has been one of those things. So believe it or not, we are still advocating for broadband expansion in the state of Wisconsin. We've worked really hard through the Milky Way Tech Hub to make sure that the connectivity program, the national connectivity program, which made sure that the funding has ended soon. So again, that's a reason why we still have to advocate. But a program that folks were able to get $30 off per month on their internet, the affordable connectivity program, those funds have ended. And so that was a way of us being able to expand broadband into communities that don't have it at all, and then those that have slow broadband service. And so broadband expansion will be one of the topics we'll be advocating on this year. We will also be advocating on internet privacy, data privacy. And of course, always and forever until we don't have to advocate anymore, we are allocating for any funds that come through the state of Wisconsin from our federal government, that they are equitably allocated throughout the state of Wisconsin, making sure that they hit those areas, underserved areas like Milwaukee, but also those unserved areas like Menominee.
I'm really excited about this, and it's one of my favorite events during Wisconsin Tech Month because it's really multi-generational. We have people
Mhm.
who have are retired. We have young kids that are just
Mhm.
learning, that are like 12, 13 years old, come together to learn about
Yes.
policy advocacy, which I think is incredibly important, as you just shared. So I'm sharing this because I want people to know that you don't have to have a background in policy. You don't have to have a level of acumen in this space. We're here to educate you. So, what can you share more about, like, what people can expect if they participate in this?
Yes. Definitely. And one thing before I share what's going to be happening that day, you are the expert of your life. So you are the best person to tell people what policies will best help you and your community. So definitely by far, you don't have to be an expert by having any education or training in it. All you have to do is be an expert and care about those issues in your life and those folks around you. So on the day of, which is October 3rd, 2024, we're going to be in the Wisconsin State Capitol. That's at 2 East Main Street in Madison, right at the center of the city of the state. Um, Also, it's not the center of the state. I'm sorry. It's the center of Madison. So let's go ahead with starting of the day. We're going to have registration and breakfast. That's going to start as more of like a continental breakfast, going to start at about 9 a.m. Registration will go up to 9:30. And then we're going to have a keynote speaker from everyone on. This is going to be really great at 9:30. Talk about empowering change in tech policy. Then we're going to get a deep dive really quick into what do you do when you go into your legislator's office. You don't have to knock on the door. So we're going to go over some of those tips and tricks on how to spend your time best with the legislator when you're in front of them. We're also going to have information for you to carry along so that you know what you're talking about, and we're going to brief you on that as well. So those learning tracks are going to be happening from about 10:30 to 12:30. And then at about 12:30, we're going to have a lunch and learn with our Secretary of State, Sarah Gotluski. She's going to be our PM keynote speaker, so you don't want to miss that. At about 1 o'clock, we're going to have a few legislators come in. Definitely going to hear from Senator Drake, Senator-elect Dora Drake, and then we have a few others on the list as well. And then we're going to wrap up about 1:45 and head back to our homes around the state of Wisconsin.
I'm excited. I can't wait to engage with this event for the fourth year. It's
Mhm.
always a great time. I've always learned a ton. My favorite thing that I learned from you is that I don't have to knock on these doors. I can just
Yes.
walk in. So this, it's mine.
Yes.
I pay for that space with my tax dollars. And so this is
Yes.
one thing that has always stuck with me. And it's just a great reminder of how we need to be a part of this process. So, Bianca, thank you so much for your
Thank you for
continuous
having me.
work with the Tech Hub, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on October 3rd.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I'll see you all on October 3rd as well.